Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to 7-Star Tarot. 7-Star Tarot. Why was I not able to say that? Welcome to 7-Star Tarot. On the new moon, well, just after the new moon. Oh, it's 22:22 on Saturday night. 3 days after the new moon. Yes. Hello. This reading might be for you if you have Capricorn in your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, or your Venus, or anywhere else in your chart. When we do a tarot reading, we are essentially drawing a map of the universe, and potentially your universe, at any given point in time. If this isn't an accurate map for you, then please check other placements or check back later for another reading. So, when I drew a card for you, Capricorn, I got the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, I wouldn't say she's necessarily angry, but yeah, she's been through it, the Queen of Swords. So yeah, you may have had to deal with some people who you kind of needed to basically put your walls up against, cut some people out, cut some MFers out of your life because they were effing with your stuff. Yeah, Queen of Swords doesn't really take any bullshit from anyone. And the reason is, when I clarified Queen of Swords, the reason is Ten of Pentacles. This is why she doesn't want to take any stuff from any crap person, because she hasn't really got time to deal with idiots. To deal with people that are going to mess her around, to deal with people who are going to say one thing and do another, people who are going to talk about it behind her back, people who are going to, just anyone, I like the way that Lumen Moon Tarot describes it, that the sword that she has is the one that she took out of her own back after somebody stabbed her with it. And strangely enough, we have the Ten of Swords crossing the Queen. So yeah, there was some betrayal here, a sense of utter defeat, utter hopelessness. You've been left there on the floor, 10 swords stuck in your back. I mean, this picture is really graphic. This is like, this isn't just being betrayed by one person either. This is being betrayed by multiple people. Some of which you didn't even know about, basically. And yeah, there's a definite feeling of defeat, or at least there was a feeling of defeat here. And I think this is why maybe there's some anger here. Because of the Queen can see things very clearly. And what you have seen about the people that have done this to you has angered you deeply. And there's also a kind of like disdainful look on her face. She's kind of looking down on these people. Like she knows what she's looking at. She doesn't like what she's looking at, but she knows what she's looking at. And she's got her hand up to kind of say, like, come at me, bro. Like, yeah, you've already done the worst you can do. So what else is there? And now I've got the sword. Now I'm facing you. Before I didn't realize that you were my enemy. Now, after having been stabbed in the back however many times by however many people, lying on the floor bleeding out with nobody who came to help me, having pulled all of the swords out of my back, stood back up and got back on my damn throne, now I'm looking at you. And I know what I'm looking at. So now I know who my friends are and I know who my enemies are. That's the Queen of Swords, isn't it? She knows. She's no dummy, our Queen of Swords, and neither are you, Capricorn, because you've got the Ten of Pentacles on your mind. And if you're going to a Ten of Pentacles, if you're going towards a Ten of Pentacles, what is he sitting on? He's sitting on a log, isn't he? And so what we can see is that on the log, you can see the rings. Each ring stands for a season, or maybe it stands for a year here. But it denotes the passing of time. And it tells us that abundance is something which takes time to build up. So this is like an old guy. Yeah, so he spent his whole life building up his generational wealth, his Ten of Pentacles. You know, that's 10 pentacles. That's a lot. I don't know how much one pentacle is worth, but it's probably worth quite a lot of money. And here he has in the image a very large house with a very nice looking family and a lovely garden growing all sorts of luxurious and foreign delicacies, or flowers, I suppose. So yes, you can't afford to have any MFers who are going to be stabbing you in your back to come along if that's what you're wanting to build. So there's no place in a Ten of Pentacles for betrayers. So the Queen of Swords, which is you, Capricorn, has cut out now all of the people out of your life that have done this to you. There's still some residual anger, as I said. And there's a sense of that it's all too much. When you get betrayed and you get stabbed in the back, and you see the ugly side of human nature, it is a lot to carry. It's a big burden to carry. I do apologize for the poor quality of this camera as well. I need to get a new camera, really, but hopefully you can hear me. This woman is carrying too much. 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. You know, they're two difficult cards. There's a lot of strain here. Breaking under the weight. Breaking down under the burden of the knowledge of the dark side of human nature. But you don't really build a Ten of Pentacles without understanding. You certainly don't become a Queen of Swords without understanding the dark side of human nature. And you don't build the Ten of Pentacles without understanding the dark side of human nature, because in order to be able to build in the light, we have to have visited the dark, don't we? So yes, very interesting. Now, dare we look at what was in the past? We might as well, seeing as it looks like we're doing a bit of a cross. The Fool. The Fool was in the past. What is underlying of this issue? What is the foundation here? Oh, the Moon in reverse. This is very interesting, the Moon in reverse. 9 of Swords in the reverse. 8 of Wands in the reverse. And the Sun. I'm going to put the Sun in the future. And I'm going to put this 4 of Wands in the past. And I'm going to put this 4 of Swords up the top. And I'm going to put the Emperor up the top. And I'm going to put the 5 of Swords over here, I think. And I think that's all for now. Very good. So we have a spread. Excellent. In the past, there was a lack of stability, the 4 of Wands in the reverse. In a home environment, you thought something was going to be happy. It wasn't. You took a leap of faith in a new direction. fairly straightforward. Shall we clarify? Why not? So yeah, there was some upset over not having a stable home environment, but you know, you got over it. Judgment in the reverse. Ah, okay, and the Nine of Swords in the reverse. Yes. There's a sense of a continual repetition of a cycle with the Judgment in reverse. You didn't want to let go of this. You didn't want to have to do this leap of faith away from this home environment or this person who you're with. It's a love reading ultimately, isn't it, really? You know, it's partly a love reading or a relationship reading because you're moving away from people who've done you wrong. And, you know, yeah, the love relationship is the classic situation where people do wrong to each other, isn't it, really? I think the process of stepping away was very difficult for you. I think it had you up at night. You know, possibly bad dreams and nightmares, just feeling... Maybe it wasn't the process of beginning again. Maybe it was more the process of not actually leaving this thing behind. Who knows? Anyway, there was an unpleasant experience in the past that had to be walked away from. The Moon in reverse. I'm going to read from the book. 1 second. Because I keep getting the Moon reverse in different readings, and yeah, I feel like I should read from the book on this one, just so that we're all clear what the Moon in reverse actually means. Okay. So, the seeker is in a state of confusion. If you're asking about your career, there is uncertainty. Well, we're not really asking about career, but okay. Uncertainty. If asking about love and relationships, it's a highly volatile and emotional period. There is instability. Invisible pulls from the external are affecting the tides of your situation to your detriment. There is a risk of misunderstanding in the relationship. If the moon appears in reverse and you're contemplating a high-risk move or venture, you should be advised not to take it. You should be as conservative and stable as possible right now. The moon in reverse suggests great fluctuations, high risk of harm, confusion, inconstancy. Therefore, you need to find a way to lower the risks for the matter at hand. When the moon appears in reverse, the moon depicted on the card is waning, which may suggest that matters will come to a closure for you. The resolution of your state of confusion is everything that rises must converge, suggesting the rising tides of your situation will soon come to a head and the significance will become apparent. Revelations will be had, the repressed latent will always surface, and any strong intention to repress will cause a violent surfacing. Interesting. So it's sort of like, yeah, a great deal of stability. Obviously, the moon is all about the unconscious, you know, the waters of the unconscious, desires, offsetting the animal nature against the domesticated person, you know, going through a dark night of the soul. And yes, a difficult journey, essentially. And so, but also in the upright, the lobster is kind of coming away from the turbulent waters. So then in the reverse, it's saying that, yeah, there's great fluctuation and lack of clarity, essentially. Instability, and particularly emotional instability. So certainly underlying all of this was a good deal of emotional instability, and the Queen of Swords rises out of that type of instability. The Queen of Swords tells us that you've achieved a degree of stability, and with the Ten of Pentacles coming in the upright, again, a very stable card. But this has arisen from a situation which was inherently unstable. And the Nine of Swords in the reverse, which is, just the worst possible feeling of absolute desolation, despair, aloneness, and again, memories of betrayal. I think you've been haunted by something. Something someone's done has haunted you. And it caused you to be very unstable and to feel like you were carrying too much having to bear more than any one person should have to bear, essentially. Sorry if you can hear that rain. It's raining quite heavily here. And so we also have the Eight of Wands in reverse. And so I think this is... whoever this person was that betrayed you, I think you were waiting for them to come clean. You were waiting for them to just come and communicate, realize what they'd done, to come to you and apologize. And in the future, we have this Five of Swords in the reverse. So there was a sense of being defeated, I think, in the past. A sense of someone playing unfairly. And with it in the reverse now in the future, there's a sense that the tables are turning. Yes, the tables are turning. The tables must always turn. What rises must fall, and those who were on top shall now be below. I don't really think we need to clarify that. That's pretty well clarified. Thank you there, Spirit. In the external environment, we have the Four of Swords and the Emperor. I think you're getting assistance from someone. If you haven't met this person, you probably will be meeting this person soon. This is quite a masculine energy, but you're in quite a feminine energy. So this could be someone who really helps you achieve a state of peace and a state of rest. This person may already be in your life. If you know who this person is, someone supportive, someone who is maybe, a good manager or a business owner, or, someone who can manage people, someone who can manage their own life, someone who is very sturdy, stable, capable. If you have someone like this in your life, or if you meet someone like this in your life, then I think what the message here is that you can rely on this person to give you rest, or you can rest in this person's presence, or you can seek solace in each other, potentially. And I think with the sort of chaotic, unstable nature with the Four of Wands in the reverse, the unstable home life, and the Moon in the reverse, what we've just discovered there, this is very good. So then in the future we have the Sun. Dare we clarify? The Sun is very happy. The Sun is free. Knight of Wands. Oh dear, what is this Knight of Wands doing here? Okay. Yes, yes. Ah. Interesting. We had the Knight of Wands, the King of Wands in the reverse, and the Devil in the reverse. I think you're achieving a sense of freedom over this. I think you are going to be, not necessarily in the public eye, but what you do and what you achieve will be seen by others. You'll be proud of what you're achieving. You're going to be going after your Ten of Pentacles, your happily ever after, if you like. You know, whether that's a successful business, a successful career, you know, building up your savings, whatever it is, you know, building up some kind of legacy. But the way you're going to go about it is this kind of like adventurous. And they're both on a horse here. Look, here it's the child on a horse. And then there it's a very well-dressed woman on a horse. And they both are kind of similar. They've both got the fire of enlightenment. And the feeling of the sun is after a cold night, when the sun comes up and you feel the warmth of it on your skin. Or the feeling after a particularly cold winter and you get that first really warm spring day. That's the feeling of the sun, is like a warmth and like a comfort, like a freedom, like you can just go out and do anything. And then what we have is that this has an effect on someone who's in your energy, whether you like it or not. This someone who was too much of a burden, probably this someone who stabbed you in the back, this King of Wands in the reverse, this self-obsessed, self-satisfied kind of energy, selfish, egotistical. She almost looks like, this is a female King of Wands, but she almost sort of looks so ostentatious, I would say. This dress is completely unnecessary. She's only kind of wearing, and bear in mind this came in the reverse, which is why I'm describing it this way. She's only wearing this to sort of impress people or to show off. You know, there's a facade here. Look how perfect and fancy I am with my magic wand. It's very much kind of like, look at me, look at me. So wanting to draw you in, wanting to draw your attention in. You know, this person probably, it does look a bit narcissistic. And narcissists hate being cut off. They hate being ignored. There's nothing they hate more than being ignored. And the Queen of Swords is very good at ignoring people like that. And so I think in the future, yeah, you're beating the devil. The devil's been turned upside down. This toxic kind of person who just wants to draw you in, to draw you into their web, to entrap you. And look at the match here. It's all red, so it's all about passion, desire, you know, lust, if you like, very lustful. But, you know, you get very much an energy from this person, very lustful toward their own ends, in a weird way. They just kind of gives me an energy of someone wanting to have power over someone else. And maybe in the past, you know, this person did have power over you. The Judgment in reverse, you're not wanting to move away from this home situation, even though it was unstable. But I think in the future, yeah, you're seeing everything for how it is. You already see things clearly. You know who these people are. And I think you've got a lot of happiness coming for you in the future. So let's have an oracle card and we will finish up the reading. Just one oracle card for Capricorn for this new moon cycle. Almost said full moon cycle there. Mending in the reverse. Interesting. What is this about? Number 52. So, the essential meanings of forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. Yeah, forgiveness for your own sake, you know? The anger needs to be let go of, clearly. Things need to be mended in your own mind, you know, if not with another person. You know, are you gonna kind of like make amends with someone who leaves you in this position with all these swords in your back? Not really, but at least in your own mind, you want to sort of, you know, make your peace with the situation, I think. So, heartbreak is a strange healer of souls. Heartbreak is a strange healer of souls. Our grief strips away our masks and loosens our tight hold on our separateness, where we view ourselves as I and the world as it. Loss allows us to see ourselves as part of a larger scheme, opening us up to sympathy, empathy, and dependence on others in the moment when we can't hold ourselves together. And it leads us to become one with the greater whole again. Pain and suffering is part of life, and none of us will be immune to it. Can you view this loss, this pain, this dissonance as a way back to source? Let your sorrow break your heart wide open. You will never be left behind. You are loved now more than ever by Spirit, who does not want you to feel alone. One day you will look back and know this truth. Okay, so the mending is about mending your own heart and using this experience as a way to grow. Very good. Excellent. Well, I hope that this reading was helpful for you, Capricorn, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Bye for now.